I did mention, you know, switching which way you're going to try and push the ball is one thing you can do. And we saw Forky do this, actually, and he started to have a lot more success. But, you know, in a diagonal kickoff spawn, it's most noticeable. These spawns here. There's two main kickoff strategies that players will use in 1v1. One of them, you know, how you get to the ball doesn't matter for this. You wave dash if you want to, I don't care. But the whole point is that you know, try to either get to this position where you're slightly to the left of center, or you try and get to this position where you're slightly to the right of center. And, you know, if you land slightly to the right of center, obviously you're going to try and jump up and hit the ball to the left. So you're going to try and keep it in this quadrant. This is like the goal of that kickoff. When you're going around the ball to the outside edge, you want to flip to the right so that you can keep the ball in this area. And obviously if you are going for more of a straight on approach, you're going to try and, you know, flip across the ball to keep it in this corner where there's side flip, diagonal side flip. Usually a side flip will be the flip of choice for most players. I think it is the most effective at getting a strong hitbox in the ball. Yeah, between those two strategies, neither one of them is better than the other. They both can win, but you'll notice if one player is really side on like this and they're trying to push the ball in this direction here, the way the car is facing, and then the other player realizes that and he can just go a bit more, instead of going like all the way around here to the left like you usually would, if he realizes that his opponent is very side on, you can go for more of a straight approach yourself, and then but then flip to the right anyway, because now the ball's bouncing out this way and it's going to kick hard off this wall rather than you know, going forward into your half. Sorry. So yeah, those are that's really the key thing to figure out in one's kickoff, is figure out what side of the ball is your opponent landing on, what side is he trying to push the ball towards. Often the best counter is to push the ball towards the same side, but go for a bit more of a cheeky angle on it. So usually if you land like really straight onto the ball and then you flip to the side, if your opponent pushes it to the side that you didn't flip towards, you're in big trouble. But if they do push it to the side that you flip towards, then you're good. You're actually spot on. You're going to win. If you hit the middle of the ball and flip to the right and they go left, you're losing. If they go to your right, you're winning. With standard kickoffs, that's pretty much the rock paper scissors of kickoffs. But yeah, besides that, you've got other adaptations. You've got delayed approaches, so you can just try and go for more of a blocking style. You can do a single jump kickoff into wave dash recovery. That's a really good one at neutralizing the ball. If you think that your opponent is trying to get a really volatile kickoff where it pings off into the sidewall, you know, the wave dash kickoff is a good way of just planting your car behind the ball, trying to like get a single jump into it, and then your car's probably going to bounce off the ball because they hit it really hard. But then you can wave dash to beat them to it, or beat them to the boost. And yeah, you got fake kickoffs. There's lots of different variations, but the worst thing you can do if you lose a kickoff is do the same kickoff again, because, well, unless you're trying to trick your opponent by doing the same kickoff again, because they might try and metagame you where they beat you in a kickoff and then they switch their kickoff anyway. But most of the time, if a player wins a kickoff, they're going to do the same kickoff again because it worked. And you've got to change up as a person who's losing kickoffs. The majority of the time, like I said, there's always going to be metagame, but if you're just both playing heads up, you got to make the change as the player is losing the kickoff. You got to do something differently. I'm a cool guy, you must say. Thanks, man. Does this apply to silver? Yeah, I mean, some of the concepts do. Like I said, how you get to the ball doesn't matter. Most kickoff tutorials I've seen for how to win kickoffs, they're all talking about, so, you know, first of all, you want to grab this boost and then you want to flip towards the ball. I don't do a front flip because front flips are slower. I do a diagonal flip. This is why I win kickoffs, because I diagonal flip in my approach. Look at me diagonal flipping and my opponent's front flipping and then I beat him. Wow, that must be it. And no, it's nothing to do with that. It's actually all about how you hit the ball. The impact is the most important thing. So just try and, yeah. If you're going for a vanilla approach, just a solid kickoff, you want to be slightly offset and then dodge to the right if you're slightly offset left, dodge to the left if you're slightly offset to the right, and then adjust according to what your opponent is doing. I mean, if you're going for a kickoff and you see your opponent flopping in like this, if they come in like this and they're like all over the place, you don't just do your standard kickoff, do you? No, you adapt. You just chip the ball into the open net because your opponent's flown off to another galaxy. You've got to be ready to adapt. And, you know, if you see your opponent is landing way over here, if he's way off to the side on the kickoff, then he's probably messed up his landing, and he's most likely going to flip to the left to actually hit the ball. So you can, you know, you can abuse that if you see your opponent landing way off to the side. If your initial plan was to hit it, you know, towards the side that he's actually in, just switch at the last second, right? You want to, you know, land far enough away from the ball that you're not committed to one side. You can actually see, okay, my opponent's actually landed to my right here, so I'm going to switch and go left instead because he looks weaker on that side. Do you know what I mean, guys? At the highest level, you don't usually have time to make adjustments. If you have time to make adjustments, it's because your opponent has messed up their approach in some way. Most of these guys, they're fast enough and they're efficient enough that there's no adjustments. It is just like both players pick a strategy and go for it. It isn't always certain what time it is. Hey, thank you, Barokin, for the 6-month tier 1. I'm not certain of what that message meant. Thanks as well, by the way, to Gerson FBS. Sorry if I've said that wrong. Thanks for the brand new Prime sub. Thanks for 100 bits from Saban's Rock. Wanted to do 200. Love these show matches. Don't worry about it, man. It's fine. Thanks for the 100. Don't forget to Prime sub. That was his message said that. I didn't just say that, but I am going to say it. Don't forget to Prime sub, guys. K-Hoff, thanks for the 5-month Prime. Welcome back. Another 5-month Prime as well from Mufasa RL. Welcome back to you. And Saban's Rock. Oh, you did 100 bits twice. See, that's what you meant. Love the show matches. Don't forget Prime sub. You said it in this message as well. Thanks, man. Brian will only read bit cheers if they're 250 bits or more. I had to put it up ages ago from 100. Don't forget those Prime subs, guys. When you have Amazon Prime, you can give one free sub to your favorite Twitch streamer. Thank you. Saban's Rock, seriously. He's just letting everybody know about Prime subs. Thank you so much, man. And welcome back for the 2nd month with your one as well. Ed is awesome. Thanks for 200 bits, man. You missed your bit donation. Who do you think wins between G2 right now or Season 8 Finals NRG? Wait, did I? How did I miss that? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. But hey, thanks for more bits. I think G2 right now would probably beat Season 8 Finals NRG online, but the Season 8 Finals NRG would win on LAN. Yeah, I would probably go with that assumption. Do you recommend you adjust when you're going in for a blocking style kickoff? Just try and notice what side the opponent is weak on and counter them. So if you see, like I said earlier, if they're way off to the side, like this side, then that means they're probably going to try and push the ball to, you know, well, basically straight forward. So if they're way off to the side, you just want to go basically straight in the middle of the ball and push it the same way that they are. Don't try, you know, if somebody's way off to the side, like way off to this side of the ball, and they're just going to push it straight forward with a side flip, obviously, and then you kind of go, you know, round the ball a little bit. Is this how I cheer more than 100 bits? Push it slightly to this side, the left. You're going to get crushed because they committed way more to the side of the ball than you did. So they're probably just going to win it. You're going to bounce off the ball. They're going to play right through. You need to work with someone. If they're using more of an angle, work with them. Just go like more central on the ball and like dodge across it in the same way that they will be. Because that way it'll ping out between you and into the wall, and you can score when it bounces back into the middle. It Rock, yeah, you did it right, mate. That's who you do. Hey man, didn't know how else to get your attention. Messaged you on Discord about possibly helping with the frame rate issues that have been happening on YouTube. Thanks, Johnny. I didn't notice a Discord DM about that, but thanks for helping. Wait, was it right now? Did he do it right now? Ah, you did do it right now. Do I record separately from stream with OBS? No, I don't. He pulls the VODs and edits. But the plan, I mean, for the future is I'm trying to get I've got a pretty good laptop that I bought a while ago. Never ended up using it too much, but I've still got it. Me and my brother, who's my editor, are trying to set it up alongside my current PC in a streaming PC, gaming PC setup, which would allow for local recordings, which would probably eliminate any of the FPS issues. But what is there a way to improve the current system, which is just he uses Twitch Leecher to get my VODs and then turns it into videos, you know. Brian, my brother. Well, his name's not Brian, but yeah, the Twitter
You
account
don't
Brian
even
is
really
my brother.
need the laptop. You can use the NVENC encoder to record at super high bitrate with nearly no performance hit.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that. I'll definitely have to look into it. The other day, well, last stream I did try to local record on OBS at the same time as streaming, and immediately everybody in chat was saying that there was frame drops, even though it didn't say that I dropped any frames in OBS. It's still sometimes dropping frames, even though it says it doesn't. So it must have been like, you know, locally dropping frames rather than on the upload. Like the upload is fine. Upgrade your CPU. I don't think I have to. I'm sure there's a solution without doing that. What do I think of the final casting? As many people said it was boring. Well, the ESPN2 one. I mean, it wasn't for me, but it wasn't supposed to be for me. I would obviously prefer, as a fan of Rocket League, I mean, if I'm just being selfish and trying to make it the most fun I can for myself, I would want Shogun and color commentator on the microphone. I mean, if I'm being really selfish, I would want to do it just so I could say, "Look at me, I'm on ESPN2." But really, I'm not that fussed. If I'm honest, I'm not that fussed about it. I don't know anything about ESPN2 except the fact that it's an American sports network.
It's likely that the CPU overhead from using encoding software encoding on both at the same time is rough on even new CPUs.
Yeah.
NVENC is hardware in the GPU. More balanced performance load.
How did I score this? I can't believe I read it. That's interesting. I'll tell you what. I'll try after streaming. I'll probably get in touch with you since I've got your Discord DM. That would be a good place to figure it out. You don't have to. Yeah, I mean, it's great having Brian read it out to me, so I don't have to read it for myself. But you don't have to. Don't worry about that. I appreciate the help. If you know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we should have a new solution coming up anyway. I want to the whole like streaming PC, gaming PC is going to be really useful for some content I'm looking to create in the future anyway. So that's, you know, going to happen either way. But yeah, no reason not to look into a different solution as well. Khaled versus Farskiller, that would be hype, of course, as well. The match everybody thought would be the grand final for the Salt Mine before Farskiller got round one by Flakes, the eventual grand finalist. No shame in that. It's a tough matchup. Who is better, Manfield Fairy or Salt Mine Khaled? Well, it have to be Salt Mine Khaled because he went undefeated and won the thing. Manfield Fairy, he won 7 series in a row and then lost in the grand final of the regional gauntlet. Khaled won 7 in a row, won the final of the regional gauntlet, and then he also won the single elimination worlds component as well. So I think this, you know, Khaled's I really do think that Khaled's run in the Salt Mine is the most impressive 1v1 tournament performance that's ever happened in Rocket League. It's more impressive than any individual win or tournament win that Scrub or Fairy got. Although there have been some really impressive ones. That I'd say it's up there. I think it's number 1. What do you guys reckon? Do you think Khaled's Salt Mine run is, you know, it kind of, is there another 1v1 run that's been as impressive as that? Because I don't think there has. Ending a game in ranked if a team is winning by 7 goals after 90 seconds to prevent time-wasting toxic players? Nah, because then you'd never have 7-goal comebacks. I mean, Flakes in MN5K was pretty impressive. Yeah, he was, but I think Flake's actual most impressive tournament performances was his run through the 4. He won the 4 twice in a row, and then he beat Fairy in the lore games. Like, that was probably the most impressive 1v1 thing that Flake's ever did. You know, going, what was it, 2-5 in league play for Manfield Night 5K, and then going 3-1 in the gauntlet, it still leaves him with a 5 wins and 6 losses record. So it's not the craziest overall record. Obviously, he got 3 in a row in the gauntlet, but Khaled got, what was it, 11 in a row in the salt mine, and he also had to win 3 series in qualifying, so he really won 14 in a row. All competition wins. Best ones player of all time, Fairy or Scrubkilla. They're the two that are definitely in a league of their own. Then you've got a bunch of other players. I think Khaled would be in the next tier, along with a bunch of others.